volume, and we're going into game 5. Not game 5, game 9.
Yeah, the decider here between Team Knight and QED in this Fusion Slugs clan tournament. This is round 2 of the group stages. I don't know if there's any stages after the group stages, but that's where we're at the moment. So we are going to have this PvP on, once again, GSL Daybreak between, in the top right corner, we do have, from Team Knight, spawning as the red Protoss, we have Free. And in the bottom left corner, spawning as the blue Protoss from QED, we have Bourkes.
Yeah, now Bourkes has, in the last 2 games, exhibited some really nice play to be able to bring QED back from being 4-2 to tie things up in this series, and it's now match point of the whole thing. It's it's a best of 9, just like GSTL guys. And for those wondering, I saw at least one question. This is being played on the Southeast Asia server, and yeah, we're in for quite a game here. First PvP of the night.
Yeah, it should be a really good one too. We've seen Bourkes using, some really great game sense and some great aggression and some great, really all-around play. Knowing when to be aggressive with the 1 gate into 3 gate, getting aggressive with that proxy pylon and the 3 gateways early, looking to pressure bunkers and whatnot in his PvT. And then, the next game he was on the defensive and he played patiently, he played really passively, got to his ideal mid to late game composition, and ended up winning in a really solid game. So hopefully the skills that he's shown us tonight in his PvT can translate over into PvP.
Yeah, it looks like both players are mimicking each other's builds at this stage. Wow, that was crazy close actually on that timing. So it looks like Bourkes is actually like the slightest of margins ahead, just because of the delayed the amount of time that he took before he sent out his scouting probe. That just gave him that extra maybe 10 or 15 minerals just to bust out that gateway first, and then to bust out everything else just that bit faster than Free has been able to do. Yeah,
and actually, both openings going to be very crisp from both these players, because we do know that that Bourkes is playing really well tonight, and Free is actually the second platinum player in Team Knight that will be in the roster for tonight. So expecting good things out of him as well. So it'll come down to the mechanics and the mastery of the build order that it really comes down to. So actually, Free is going to be skipping his first Zealot and opting to get an extra gateway. Going to be chronoing out his first Stalker. So it is going to be a 3 Stalker rush from him. Really versatile build, can transition into a 3 gate Blink Stalker attack, or a 2 gate Robo, or even into Stargate play if it's what he so desires. But it's a really good solid opening, and he will look to be putting on pressure. And if Bourkes does chance it and decides to go for a 4 gate or something similar to that, Free will be in a great position to hold that off. And actually, that is indeed what we are going to be seeing from Bourkes. He is going to be he is going to be going for this 4 gate. So with these initial 3 Stalkers coming out super fast from Free, he will be able to hunt down the Zealot and Stalker with the probe that will be following to plant down the proxy pylon. And actually, good watchtower control from Free does let him see the probe coming with this army. I believe he might have just seen it, so that's the ultimate tell that's what's going to be coming his way. And I do quite fear for Bourkes as to how he's going to be able to pull this off, because with that much of a Stalker lead at the moment, he is going to be in a great position to hold this off. And now we do see extra gateway and robotics facility coming down for Free. So he is feeling secure at the moment. Knows that he can now press the advantage in terms of tech, and he will be looking to possibly go for an expansion after this, maybe, or maybe just an immortal timing. But it could translate nicely into a 2-base Colossus, or really anything that he wants to spend that Robo into.
Yeah, so it looks like Bourkes is going to run the gauntlet here and try and get that expansion up. If he's able to hold on to it against what looks like this 1-base immortal play from Free, as you were saying, if he's able to somehow hold this, he'll be in quite a spectacular position going later into the game. And he actually has the Stalker lead, so Free's going to need to be careful here. Because with a couple of force fields, you
Yeah,
might be able to
actually,
pick one
he
off.
stopped making. Yeah, yeah. Actually, he actually did stop making stalkers after those initial three, just choosing to go for a sentry and a couple of extra zealots. But it looks like the counter pressure is going to be starting to be piled on here with the probe from Free actually coming across the map, probably looking to plant down a proxy pylon here. And we are seeing the observer come out first, just to scan ahead to see what's going to be awaiting Free at the main base of Bourkes. And now we do have the Immortal being chronoed out, so possibly looking for a 2 Immortal timing here. I'm suspecting that's what we're going to be seeing from Free at the moment. And actually, upon seeing the units, Free does cancel the proxy pylon, but I think he's just looking to reposition it down to the 3rd, so that he can set up a flank or somewhere to fall back to. That's a bit more safe, away from watchtower vision, and can serve him further into the mid to late game if he wants to use that later on.
Yeah, now do you think the Twilight Council that just finished up for Free, do you reckon that's going to be for Blink, and he's going to try and use that Observer just to outmaneuver Bourkes' army? Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably, yeah, that's definitely what we're going to be seeing now. He is obviously chucking down the chrono on that. But with the extra income from Bourkes, if he does decide to add on, more gateways and now a Twilight and Robo of his own, he is going to be able to hold off this timing just fine, and he is going to be way ahead because he has got that expansion down so much earlier than Free has, and he will start to take a really convincing lead in this game, assuming that he plays it right. And actually, Warp Prism going to be chronoed out for Free, so interesting choice. Probably going to look to harass in the front and blink around and do some micro shenanigans while warping in at the base of in the back of the base of Bourkes, just to stretch the multitasking as much as possible and possibly look to stretch his advantage and even win the game outright with a really strong blink timing with the Warp Prism in the back of the base.
Yeah, he's kept the Immortal and the Sentry at his base, so it looks like he might even try and do an Immortal Sentry kind of drop, just to really kind of test Bourkes, as you were saying. There's not much else. There's no real harder task, I guess, than trying to hold all of that off. Oh, and the force fields do come down, but he does remove.
Ooh, good blink, yeah. And a lot of wasted energy on those sentries, actually, so that's a bit unfortunate for Bourkes that he did let that slip, but he will know that there is blink tech out on the field now. Nothing going to be happening with this Warp Prism, actually, just still sitting in Free's base, and the Immortal and Sentry still, back at home, just waiting. He's going to be poking with these Blink Stalkers. Really actually a shame that he doesn't have the rest of his army here, as he could have done quite a bit of damage. A couple of probes coming off the line from Bourkes. He has actually been really good with when he's pulling off the probes off the line, and yeah, just really great micro from Free, able to really stretch the cost efficiency of those units to the maximum. But as you were saying before, if he's putting the Immortal and Sentry in the main base of Bourkes, I don't think it's going to be quite the best idea, because he can literally just warp in and bypass the force fields, so I'm not sure how effective that could be, but still, pressure just coming in from Free, but with charge on the way, those Zealots are going to start to be able to close the gap to the Blink Stalkers, and this harass is going to be much less annoying once there are chargelets out on the field.
And it looks like it's going to be a Zealot drop instead of an Immortal Sentry drop, which that could be interesting. And he's getting some High Templar out as well on the field, which will be good for the Archon there. Yeah,
Archons once again with charge, so he is reverting back to his favourite old playstyle, which I'm not too sure how he'll actually go against what's going to be coming out of Free, because he will be going for this Colossus tech now, and with the extended thermal lance on the Colossus, he will be able to really just kite backwards from these Zealots and Archons. So it's going to come down to a bit of positioning, a bit of flanking, and now we are going to see the Warp Prism come into the base of Bourkes.
Alright, so here comes the classic split up of division of kind of multitasking here by Bourkes. The Warp into the Zealots is actually going to be quite nice here. He's going to be able to hold himself without much trouble at all, actually, and keeps that Zealot alive with 6 hit points. And if he's quick enough, he might even be able to get
it does a great job of... Doesn't look like Free's actually paying any attention at all to that, just letting it move gonna get it, or it's gonna be close. No, doesn't manage to get the last hits off, but yeah, you know, not the worst harass from Free, but really good hold from Bourkes, not letting up his defense at all, managing to keep everything alive and keeping his his bases safe. So I feel like Free's maybe undercommitting to his attacks a little bit, just leaving, you know, so much of his army back at home here. This Immortal could have played a really vital role in taking out, you know, Immortals and, excuse me, Archons and Stalkers. But, you know, just a real undercommittal by Free, you know, only putting half of his forces in a place that they're vulnerable, and the big death wall of Bourkes is just going to eat them all up.
Yeah, no, definitely. He needs to be careful about kind of how he's positioning this, and then how, like, kind of how he's positioning his Colossus as well. Bourkes does find a proxy, or at least one of the proxy pylons, so he's going to be able to at least take some of the pressure off his shoulders.
Yeah, possibly looking to expand and take a third here. He is starting to flow a bit more minerals than gas, which is, he wants to be chucking a lot of gas into Templar and Archons at the moment. And yeah, this poke with the Stalkers it's a bit of a micro APM drain here for Free, and he's not really achieving a hell of a lot with them. I mean, I get what he's trying to do and just keep the pressure on, but it's really backfiring on him at the moment. Losing too many Stalkers for Free, and ironically enough, for Free. And yeah, he's just not in the best position that I think he wants to be. So he is now starting to chrono out these Colossus. He has 2 up at the moment, and he is going to establish this second robotics facility. I'm going to try and get the double Colossus production, but he is going to be in a hard press to hold this off. Force Field's actually going to be rendered ineffective by the Archons, actually just going to trample all over them. Templar in the back with quite a lot of energy here could throw down a Storm, but doesn't. Colossus doing a lot of splash damage. All of the sentries die. All of the Archons die. Zealots derping around at the back here for Bourkes, actually, and that's a big loss, managing not to really do the damage that he wanted with this push. But, you know, a couple of the Colossus are falling, Immortals are falling now, and actually tides are turning a little bit here, but the extra warp in of Zealots will deter this push for a bit longer. But Stalkers being warped in a proxy pylon, they will actually just decide to return home, and you know, units lost tab is really not looking good for Bourkes at the moment. He hasn't traded very cost efficiently at all, and you know, as we've seen in the previous games, it could just come down to that one engagement that loses in the game with no backup for when the inevitable counter push comes.
Yeah, no, definitely, and he's gonna need to be really, really careful throwing down an additional 2 robotics bay and 2 additional robotics facilities and a robotics bay of his own. Would have been nice if he could have picked off that observer. Unfortunately, his own won't get picked off.
Zealot's looking for a flank here. Actually, this is a decent enough position, but yeah, actually gonna catch all of the Zealots with the Colossus not lending any support. And all great force fields from Free, trapping all the units away from the Colossus, able to just kite back, and the army size is looking, you know, it's not looking like a very scary push, but with 4 Colossus, it's gonna, you know, start to take his toll if he can do as he has been and start chipping away at the unit count by placing some clutch force fields and just not letting anyone get close to the Colossus. They really are the most important units in the game for Free at this point.
Yeah, I mean, with him floating all this money, I was just about to say that he could throw down that third base quite easily.
Didn't mean to ping that on the map there. My mistake. Actually, great warp in from Bourkes. Forces the cancel, and we might grab a couple of pylons and simulators, but there is a big engagement going down at the natural here. Up into the front, taking a lot of damage. Really doing their job. Laying down the splash onto the Zealots, and Zealot count is dwindling for Free. The push looks like it might be deterred, but there's still all 5 of the Colossus in the back. It doesn't look like there's quite enough to actually hold this off, and Free just pushing through Bourkes at the moment.
Oh, no.
Do everything, and there's the GG. So, a good final game there from both players. Really, really close, and it did just come down to overextension from both players at a couple of points. So that's a bit unfortunately that we that we managed to lose that one. But well played all. GG's all around to TN and QED. A lot of really great matches and great series. We saw, a couple of double kills from both teams. Really good to see some of the good players stepping up to the job to do to play for their clans respectively. So yeah,
Yeah.
excellent series, and unfortunately QED does go down 5-4 to TN.
Yeah, no, unfortunately that is the result. Great play by TN. I really enjoyed the games tonight. It was nice that it at least came back to being that ace match kind of a thing. And guys, there's not much else I can say. Is there anywhere people can follow you on the internet, Minnow?
Not really. There really isn't. QED StarCraft, um, and the website is, what is it? It's QEDStarcraft.engine.com.
Bourkes has left the server.
The QED YouTube is youtube.com/QEDStarcraft2. And you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We're at clan_QED. And on Facebook, I think we are just clan QED.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
So, yeah, follow QED and you're following me.
Yep, cool. Alright guys, all my details are up in the upper left, and now we've got a special little surprise for you. Hang on one second. So Fridge, our leader, has sent me what will be known as the closing ceremony song. It's a MP3 titled Schnitzel's Mum.mp3. So just sit back and enjoy. And thank you very much for casting, Minnow. It's been a good night, and we'll see everyone next week for some more QED action. So see you away, and I'll let this take it away.